Maine's housing crisis isn't anything new, but a collaboration between Maine Housing and a social media app is taking a new approach to solving the shortage. Joy Hollowell tells us more.
This is really a platform that connects individuals who are looking for roommates, may have space in their home, with individuals who are looking for a place to live.
Last year, the Maine legislature passed a bill to create what's known as intergenerational home sharing. Earlier this year, Maine Housing agreed to invest $200,000 in the pilot program by signing on with the home sharing app Nesterly.
It hits at an area that historically haven't had programming for it.
Both potential hosts and home seekers go through an extensive vetting process by Nesterly. Now, once approved, homeowners can create listings on the app just like this one. Home seekers can then use various filters like location, length of stay, and whether they're pet-friendly to find the appropriate place that suits their needs.
There are many in this situation of being property rich but cash flow poor.
The director of the University of New England Center for Excellence in Aging and Health says this program isn't your typical landlord-tenant agreement.
So maybe the renter is responsible for shoveling the driveway. If it's an older adult, maybe the responsibility is simply agreeing to a shared dinner every other week.
It really is bringing together what we know is an advantage that older adults have to provide in the communities where they live, with meeting the need for housing that we see in the younger population.
Dr. Patricia O is with the University of Maine Center on Aging, which has studied these types of programs.
People who are 70 and older report the greatest benefits of participating in this relationship. They feel safer, happier, and less lonely.
She notes using a formal platform like Nesterly increases the likelihood these relationships will work out.
Students in the health sciences could learn so much about aging by living with someone who's older and being a part of their world.
Another advantage for home seekers, rent rates are typically lower than market value.
I'm really hopeful that this is something that will help contribute to the solution of affordable housing.
Joy Hollowell, WABI TV5 News.
In addition to background checks, Nesterly will help with lease agreements and collect rental payments. If you're interested in being a home host or renting a room, log on to nesterly.com or call 877-958-8785.